Now that you've reviewed the evidence-based practice video and learned more about the types of evidence available for clinicians, let's get some practice finding evidence-based research in the databases. To get to our research databases from lonestar.edu, I will click on Libraries in the top bar. This will take you to the home page for the LSCS libraries. In the Start the Research section of the home page, the databases can be accessed from the Find Articles tab. Our databases are grouped by subject, meaning that under each subject, we have listed databases that search for resources in that subject or discipline. We are looking for evidence-based resources, so I'll be using the databases in the Health and Medicine grouping. We'll first take a look at a few databases listed under the Articles heading. I will click the arrow next to Articles and select CINAHL from the list. There are two ways to get access to the databases from home. You can either use your library barcode number, which is located on the back of your student ID, or you can use your My Lone Star credentials to gain access. When searching within CINAHL, I would recommend you use the Advanced Search option. The Advanced Search allows you to build your search using the Boolean operators that were discussed in the evidence-based practice video. You'll notice on the left here that the default is AND, but you can click the drop-down and select or not. I'm going to enter the keywords I selected based on what I identified using PICO. For this search, I'll be using estrogen receptor positive and tamoxifen. Before hitting search, there are a few other options I can select to make sure that I'm getting higher quality evidence. I will scroll down under search options and select evidence-based practice. You can also tell the database what type of publication you want the evidence to come from. A couple of the choices include systematic reviews, which are the highest level of filtered evidence. You can also select randomized controlled trials, and we can also select case studies, which of course are lower on that evidence pyramid. So I have evidence-based practice selected, and I'm going to go ahead and click search. From my search result page, I can see that I already have 18 results using these keywords. There are additional limiters that you can use for narrowing your search results further, and those are contained in the left sidebar under Refine Results. One thing that you will notice is that my result list contains articles that are from 2013 all the way to 2020. In health and medicine, you typically want to be reviewing research from the last 5 years. I'm able to replace the starting year with 2016, and then I'll hit enter to update my results. I can also limit by full text, which means that you're able to access the full text of that article right away. If you don't have full text selected, you may come across some records where we only can review the abstracts. You can always fill out an ILL form to request access to the article. Just note that it may take a little while to receive. When I limit my results to full text, you'll see that my list gets even shorter. I'm going to review the detailed record for the first article in my result list. A few things to note about the detailed record. You'll see an abstract of the article, which is very useful because it gives you a summary of the article so you can quickly determine if this is the kind of information that you're looking for. You can see the publication type, which indicates that this is a randomized control trial, so I know what level this article falls on the evidence pyramid. The record also indicates that this is evidence-based practice, which we selected in our initial search. If we review the major and minor subjects assigned to this article, we can identify additional keywords for our research. To access the full text of this particular article, I will click on the link to the full text finder. The database will try to locate where we can find the full text resource. This will occasionally require a few steps on your part. If you need help, contact a librarian. A few more things to note in the record. You're able to save your research to your Google Drive, you can print the resource, and you can email it. I would also like to point out the permalink, which provides you a permanent link to this resource. The majority of our databases have a citation tool built in, so you can click on Cite and then select the citation style that you are using. For this example, I'm going to select the APA citation. You can copy that citation and then paste that into your reference page. Anytime you copy a citation from a database, you should double check that against the official citation format guidelines to make sure that everything is correct and no edits need to be made. CINAHL also contains evidence-based care sheets. You can access these by clicking on the link in the top blue banner. These care sheets are summaries on specific key topics which are focused on nursing practice. Each of these sheets incorporates the latest evidence, statistics, research, and references on a given topic, and the references within these sheets are actually ranked using a specific type of coding according to the type of literature they represent. You can enter a search term or browse by topic. For example, I'm going to search for care sheets on breast cancer. From there, I can see that there are several care sheets available. I will review the one on treatment with systemic therapy. I'll check the title and then I'll select search. I'll go ahead and select the PDF to review the evidence-based care sheet on this topic. They're generally fairly short, and there is a list of references at the end that are coded based on the level of evidence cited. Now let's take a look at another database for evidence-based practice resources, Nursing and Allied Health. In order to access it, we'll navigate back to the Health and Medicine databases and select Nursing and Allied Health underneath Articles. As we open the database, you'll notice that we are on the Advanced Search page. I will enter the search terms from my PICO, estrogen receptor positive, but this time I'll insert the OR operator and insert ER+. I'll add a row and add tamoxifen. Before I hit search again, I'm going to scroll down to the document type and select evidence-based healthcare from the list. And now I'll hit search. My initial search brings back 390 results, and I have additional ways to limit my search, which are located in the left column. I'll limit my search results by publication date by entering a date range 2016 to today and hitting update. I'll also limit my results to full text and peer-reviewed. If you forgot to check off the evidence-based healthcare on the first page, you can do that on the left here under document type. I'm going to go ahead and click on one of the articles from the results list so that we can take a look at the record. The layout of the record is a little different from CINAHL. If you want to see the abstract, you would click the Abstract Details tab to get a summary of the article and also to review the different subjects that are assigned to this article to gather additional keywords for your search. You can read the full text in your browser by clicking this tab, or you can open a PDF copy of the full text by clicking this tab. You'll also see related articles in the right-hand column. If you select all options above the related articles column, you'll see options for you to save your research by using Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive, for example. You can email, print, or download the article. You can copy the citation by clicking Cite and selecting your citation style from the list. Again, make sure to double check the citation against a credible source to make sure no edits need to be made. You can also grab the permanent link to this resource at the top of the All Options box. The last resource I will demonstrate in this video is an open access resource in which you can also find evidence-based research. When we're talking about open access, that just means that access to this resource is not behind a paywall and you don't have to use your Lone Star credentials to get in. Note that because this is an open access website, not all of the resources you find will have a free full text option. So if you do find an abstract that looks like the article may contain promising information, you can use the ILL form to request to get a full text copy of the resource. The open access resource we'll be looking at is the TRIP Medical Database. In order to access it, we'll navigate back to the Health and Medicine databases, click the arrow next to Internet, and select TRIP. I recommend that you create an account with TRIP to access more features, including links to full text from the LSC databases when you select Lone Star College in your profile. There are two ways that you can search this resource. You can enter your search terms in the default search box, or you can use the PICO search, in which you can enter elements from your PICO or clinical question into the boxes. I'm going to go ahead and enter my search terms using the PICO search and hit enter. On the right side of the results page, you'll see that the results are already organized by evidence type, with the higher quality filtered secondary evidence listed first. You'll also notice that each result shows a color-coded pyramid that refers to the level of evidence the article selected is. Since I created a login and linked to Lone Star College in my profile, you'll see that some records show full text Lone Star College. Even if TRIP lists Lone Star College, that doesn't always mean we have full text access. If you click on the link, it will try to search Lone Star's holdings to see if we do have full text access to the article through one of our databases. I'm going to go ahead and click on the first result in the list, and you'll see the abstract and very general information about the article. You'll also notice full text links on the right-hand side, in which the full text happens to be free through the Cochrane Library. There are several open access resources you can use for evidence-based practice. Each has different features, so I encourage you to review help resources on the site to learn more about its functions. These are a few of the different databases and open access resources in which you can locate evidence-based research. If you need help navigating these resources, contact the librarians.